Hello, welcome to a new week of this spirit guided message and energy transmission. I am Jackie Van Campen. I am so grateful that you are here and welcome to February. Can you believe it's already the second month of the year? That's amazing. So for this week, I wanted to do something a little different and I wanted to actually focus on something more specific versus just a message for the week. And I've been really thinking about just what's going on in the collective and what's going on with people clients that I work with, and just what I'm seeing out in the world and with people close to me. And I wanted to talk today about guilt. I know. Guilt is an interesting energy, right? Because guilt is something that is, we may have experienced from childhood, right? Maybe your parents made you feel guilty about, I don't know, maybe not getting your room cleaned, or they made you feel guilty for not getting good grades, or maybe your friends made you feel guilty for, not being there for them, or whatever situation, that you had happen. But I'm pretty sure that the majority of us have had experience with guilt. And guilt, when not taken care of or not dealt with, becomes internalized. And internalized guilt leads us to depression, leads us to feeling bad about ourselves, makes us feel ashamed. Guilt can cause us to continue relationships with people that we wouldn't otherwise continue because we are afraid of hurting their feelings. Guilt can so many times put us in a state of paralyzation and feeling as if we don't have a voice. And, guilt really takes our power away. So I was thinking about, how do we bring this conversation in with the guidance and wisdom of the spirit guides. And so I'm not going to spend a lot of time sharing my own point of view about it. I mean, I've dealt with a lot of guilt in my life. I have children who also deal with guilt in their own lives, and it's an interesting phenomena, or an interesting energy that kind of takes root, and it's very difficult at times to break away from guilt. Sometimes we even hold on to guilt because letting go of that guilt the belief is that we may feel kind of like, well, if I don't have that guilt, then it means that, I can go on and hurt somebody's feeling, or I can go on in that relationship. And I don't want to feel, I don't want to cause somebody to get hurt or to experience a sense of hurt because of something that I could possibly do if I let go of that guilt. And so the work today is really about allowing ourselves to clear that energy. It doesn't mean that clearing the energy is gonna now cause you to go be an asshole or cause you to go hurt people. It really means that you release yourself and whatever, maybe if it's a person or a situation that have caused you guilt, to feel guilty. Releasing that person or situation actually allows her more space, and you release the attachment and holding that situation, yourself, the other person, hostage to that experience of guilt. And so I am going to go ahead and call in the beings and see what they have to say. And I think we're going to be doing some releasing maybe exercise through this to help you break free from this energy of guilt, if that's what you choose. Okay, because remembering that you do have free will, and nothing that I say, nothing that the guides say is set in stone for you. Like, you have to check in with your own inner guidance And whatever it is that you're willing to release, whatever it is that you're ready to release, that you will be able to do that today. So, especially when it comes to guilt. And I'm just doing a little bit of Palo Santo, kind of, raising the vibe. Awesome. All right, friends. So if you want to, you can go ahead and take a sip of water. And if you're ready, just relax, close your eyes. Allowing for yourself to be here in this present moment, this present time. And let's take a few deep breaths in together. Allowing for the breath to be the vehicle that transports, right, the oxygen through your entire body, through the cells of your body, your muscles, your bones, your marrow, your veins, your lungs, your organs, all the parts of your body. So another inhale and release. Allowing for the breath to melt away any tension that you may be experiencing in your body right now. And another deep breath in and release. And I'm going to start with my invocation, calling in the guides to guide us today on, how to transform and how to alchemize the energy of guilt into something that is more spacious. Like when we transform that energy, when we release it or alchemize it or transmute it, whatever the word is for you, we create more space for something new to show up. So even in a relationship that you may be having that is coming from a space of guilt, allowing for the transformation and the alchemization of that energy actually might cause you to have a more authentic relationship with someone. And you may discover that you may not want to, and you may not have the courage to actually have a conversation and complete that relationship in your life. So whatever is meant to be will be, whatever is meant to happen will happen. So just be here in the space of trust. And I'm going to call in the guides now. So dear Mother, Father, God, Great Spirit of the universe, we come to you today with an open heart, open mind, ready to receive your guidance and your messages for today and your transmission. And I'm calling in the beings of light, the guides, the archangels, the angels, the ascended masters, the ancestors, all of those who are here in our spiritual team to support us, to guide us, to help us awaken to our own mission and inner wisdom, helping us transmute everything that is ready to be alchemized and burned away so that we can have more space, so that we can have more joy and more happiness, so we can have more authenticity in our relationships. And we do so with an open heart, open mind, and with a gratitude. And I complete this by saying, and so it is. Hello, 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 dear ones. We are here. We are here. We are here. We're so very grateful to be here today in this space, to share in this energy, in this communion with you, to be in oneness, in the space that creates magic, that creates lightness of being. Understanding, beloveds, that is sometimes in the dark spaces that we find our healing. So there's nothing wrong with being in a dark space, as long as you are willing to allow the light to shine. Being able to perceive and be with is in the shadows. For if you're not willing to perceive and to be with and to see and to acknowledge what's there, it's very difficult to heal. So be here in the now. So if you are in the space where you're feeling maybe a low vibration, or feeling some darkness, or feeling some guilt, that you are exactly where you're meant to be. And you coming here is no coincidence. You have attracted this message to you because you are ready to receive the frequencies, the healing energy of this message. So we want to speak to you about this idea of guilt, this energy, because that is truly what it is. It's an energy. It is created from stories. It's created from belief systems. It's created from implants that have been put into you, or that have been manifested in your life, whether in childhood most likely, or it could have been even from past lifetimes, or it could even been from family members who have carried that with them and now have chosen consciously or unconsciously to pass that on. And guilt has been used for many thousands of years. It was a way to punish those who did not walk, we use quotes for this, in the straight line, did not walk the path of those who were of the belief of their own ideologies and their own ways of being and their own belief systems. And so guilt was used to oppress people. It was used to put those in line, to keep them in check, to keep them feeling quote unquote bad about themselves. Because if you can oppress people by making them feel bad about themselves, now you have control over them, you have power over them. And so it's a type of energy that has permeated your planet for many thousands and thousands of years. And so even to clear the energy of guilt is not something that can happen in one session, or it can happen overnight, because this is something that is in the collective. And so being able to be in awareness of your own guilt, the guilt that you are carrying within yourself, the guilt that it's in your heart, that is in your solar plexus, that is in your throat and your root chakra, all of your being, all of your energy systems. Because guilt is not something that is just it's not something that's just in the mind. It's everywhere. It takes root. So if guilt has been implanted in you, it has taken root in every area of your life. And so being able to release this energy means that we release one layer of it. Means that we can help you open up to open you up to the situation, or perhaps you are now able to see how guilt has played a part in your life in a way that was not healthy. It did not create healthy relationships for you. It did not create healthy relationships with yourself. And so we're going to do an exercise with you to perhaps bring a memory, or bring up even an energy. You don't have to have a conscious memory of when guilt was implanted in you. Because understand, you were not born with guilt. No one is born with guilt. Guilt is something that is implanted. And so we will work with you to start to pull, to uproot the energy of guilt, the story behind the guilt. Because if you can be aware of the story, if you can be aware of the energy of when guilt was implanted, then you can begin to transform that. You can begin to cut or pull, even better, because if you cut something, it still has room to grow again. So beginning to loosen the soil of where guilt was planted, to begin to loosen up the root so that that root can be pulled. So whether you do this exercise on a daily basis, or whether you do it, or maybe there is just one issue that maybe it's something that's very surface level that you can work on now. So it's one layer that you can begin to remove, and then continue to do the work of removing the root of that guilt. That can work as well. So we're going to ask you, from the ages, from the time you were 0, meaning from the time you were born, and to, actually no, not the time that you were born, because guilt is something that you have to have consciousness to absorb. So let's bring up an age where you're about 2.5, because at 2.5 you can begin to understand the concept of guilt. So the age 2.5 until you're about 7 years old. Pull from the memories, from your memory bank, maybe a situation or something someone said to you that made you feel this energy of, ooh, I feel this sense of guilt because of something that I did or something that I said. Therefore, it's not safe to be expressed. It's not safe to tell my truth. It's not safe to be who I am, because someone can use that against me and make me feel guilty. So again, just whether if it's a memory or a feeling that you get, allow that to come to the surface. And we are with you. We are holding you. We will not abandon you in the middle of this exercise. So once you have that memory or the energy feeling, we're going to ask you to imagine, visualize, or feel it, that in the very specific time that guilt being implanted. So wherever you feel it in your body, so whether if it's in your chest or your sternum, your solar plexus, or your gut, your belly area, your shoulders, wherever part of your body you are experiencing this feeling, this energy, or sensing this energy of guilt, focus on that specific area. And imagine that like a seed was planted there. Those words being told to you, oh, you did this. I feel, you made me feel bad about you. You hurt my feelings. Oh, you did this to me. Oh, you being this way makes me feel this way. Whatever it was that was spoken to you, imagine that being a seed that got implanted. So in your body, where was that seed implanted? And this is not a mental exercise. This is not an exercise where you think about it. This is an exercise of sensing and feeling, allowing for awareness to come up. So even if it's an image that you get, imagining, but it's very important to get into your body, because that is where the energy is being held. So scan your body for where this implant happened, where the seed got planted. And now I want you to imagine using your hands in your mind's eye. Imagine using your hands and as if there's a soil where the seed got implanted, and you're kind of moving the soil. And the soil might be parched, it may be hard, and it may feel as if it's too hard to even do anything with it. And so imagine that you pour a little bit of water around that area, just to kind of make the soil a little more manageable. And whether you use your fingers or you use a tool, you're going to start to pick at that soil, unearthing it, moving it. And we're not getting to the root of this yet. We're just loosening the soil. And if you have to pour more water on the soil, it's okay. Continue to do that until you feel that soil is loose. And it sticks, you feel the soil sticking to your fingers. And this is buried deep, so it may take you some time to dig. You may need a shovel. Whatever tool you choose, whether it's a pick, a shovel, your hands, keep pulling that soil up and separating it. And perhaps as you're doing this, you're seeing other memories. You're seeing other times in your life where guilt has taken root, where guilt has played a part in your ability to be your true self. And keep digging and digging all the way until you find that seed. And you may not come to that seed right now. You may come to that seed tomorrow, or you may come to that seed a week from now, or a month from now, or a year from now. We're not looking to get it out right away. If you get to it, then that's great. And if you don't get to it today, it's great too. Because what you're doing is you're being able to loosen the soil so that you can actually get to the seed. And we're going to help you bring that up. Bring that energy, and be with the energy that's coming up for you. Because it's important to have the energy surface. So whether you found the seed already or you're still on the top soil, it's totally fine. Because we're working with your level of energy. This is not a competition. So wherever you get to, wherever layer you get to, it's perfect. And we want you to feel the energy that's bringing up. What energy is this exercise bringing up for you? Are you feeling anger? Are you feeling frustration? Are you feeling sadness? Are you feeling a sense of relief? Whatever that is, just allow it to surface. And now we wish to alchemize this energy, to help this energy turn into something that's usable, turn into a fertilizer in which you get to plant a new seed. You get to plant the seed that you wish to plant. So whether it's empowerment, whether it's a seed of empowerment, or whether it's a seed of joy, or whether it's a seed of happiness, or whether it's a seed of trust, or a seed of, I am going to love myself, the seed of self-love. Whatever that is, we're going to alchemize the soil. So we're going to fertilize it so that you can plant this new seed. And again, don't worry if you did not get to the seed of guilt. It is perfectly fine, and it's going to continue. This is a continuous work. It's a practice. And so at this time, we're just going to work with this energy, gathering up this energy, and mixing it up, and bringing in energies of divine love, bringing in frequencies of love, because the Creator wants nothing more than for you to feel joy, than for you to feel authentic to your soul. And guilt does not allow you to be authentic to your soul. So letting yourself breathe. Breathe in this energy of love, of divine love. As we continue to alchemize the soil, fertilize it. You know that fertilizer is done with the poo of animals. And so we are taking this crap, so to speak, and using it as this new fertilizer. Because even crap can be used for something good. And we want you to imagine now that the soil is now, you can maybe even smell the soil, this fresh new soil. And imagine what can be planted there. What is the seed that you're going to plant in this new soil? And plant that seed. Really put it down into the earth. And imagine now pouring some water over it and some beautiful sun shining on it. And whatever this energy of guilt that you had there, seeing that being transformed, allowing that to be the fuel of this new beautiful seed that you get to nourish and nurture and grow. And we're going to ask you to tend to the seed. And you do this by coming into a state of meditation or journaling or even going outside. And imagining, closing your eyes and visualizing, the seed, this beautiful new seed being nurtured, cultivated, and cared for by you. That whatever was implanted there before no longer has a hold on you. And again, doesn't matter if you got to the bottom of it, doesn't matter if you pull that seed out, because you can still go back and you can continue to dig until you get to that seed, but you know that you released enough to create space for new seed to be planted. It's okay for it to grow simultaneously, for the seed of guilt to die, and for the seed of whatever it is that you planted to bloom. It's like the lotus flower. The lotus flower seeds and blossoms simultaneously. And so, beloveds, this is new. This is you. This is you without being held hostage by this guilt that wasn't yours to begin with. And maybe it wasn't even the person who implanted in you wasn't theirs to begin with either. This is a generational, guilt is a generational energy. It's a generational condition. It's a condition, truly. So understanding that as you do this, you are helping release guilt for others as well. And you know better not to use the condition on guilt on others. And so at this time, just take a deep breath in and release with joy. Yes. And bringing yourself back into this present moment, knowing that this is your garden, and you get to choose what is in your garden. You get to choose what you allow to be planted there and what you get to plant. You plant everything. And you can be discerning of who you allow to plant in your garden. And so, beloveds, we want to complete this by sending you continuous energies of love, continuous stream of love for this week. Allow this medicine to heal you this week. We love you, we love you, we love you, and we're so grateful for your invitation and for your openness to allow us to work with you. We'll see you next time. Much love now. Wow, I didn't realize I ended up all the way in the back. Thank you so much for allowing me to bring this message to you this week. I know we went a little over this week, but I hope that this was helpful to you. And, just don't feel guilty if you didn't get to that guilt seed, because this is a continuous practice. This is not, an overnight thing. Maybe if you were able to find the root so quickly, the seed so quickly, maybe you have been doing this work for a while now. So this could have been the push that you needed, And if this is something that you just now began to look at, it's totally fine too. This is not a race. This work, this spiritual work, this work of really healing the body, healing the human part of yourself, It's deep work. So be gentle with yourself this week. Be gentle with others this week. And I'm grateful. And as I always say at the end, if you would like to continue doing this work, maybe on a one-on-one, or if you need some clarity and want to have an intuitive session with me, that is something that I offer. So feel free to reach out. My information is there for you, and I wish you a beautiful first week of February, and look forward to coming back with you again next week. Much love. Bye.